Hello and welcome to this special show on Defence Expo 20 that we are bringing you from Lucknow. This special show, a 5-day defence exposition, is on here at Lucknow, which began on the 5th of February and will be going on till the 9th. 8th and 9th have been opened to the public. You can see a large footfall from people, not just from Lucknow, but all over the country coming here, and there is a great participation of companies as well. About 1,000 companies, defense PSUs, Indian private companies, more than 150 foreign companies, over 12 defense ministers of African countries, more than 70 countries, foreign countries represented here, either through companies or government representatives. This is expected to bring in a lot of investment, and MOUs, about more than 200 MOUs were signed in the presence of Defense Minister Rajnath Singh and Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, between Indian PSUs, Indian private companies and foreign companies. The Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister said for the UP Defence Corridor, the 23 MOUs were signed and more than 50,000 crores of investment has already been pledged.
आज इस समारोह में 71 MOUs और 13 प्रोडक्ट्स की लॉन्चिंग हुई है और साथ ही साथ 6 मेजर अनाउंसमेंट्स और 18 टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर एग्रीमेंट्स भी हुए हैं। अतः आज 100 से भी अधिक नए बंधन हुए हैं और इस कार्यक्रम का एक नया जो नॉमेनक्लेचर किया गया है, बंधन। आप सभी जानते हैं कि मनुष्य की जिंदगी में भी बंधन का कितना बड़ा महत्व होता है। यह बंधन जो होता है वह म्यूचुअल कॉन्फिडेंस, परस्पर विश्वास का यह बंधन होता है। जो लोग भी MOU में शामिल हैं, मैं समझता हूं कि बंधन के विश्वास को किसी भी सूरत में टूटने नहीं देंगे और यह बंधन निश्चित रूप से ही मैच्योर होगा।
The signing of over 200 MOUs between Indian defense PSUs, Indian private companies and foreign companies in the presence of the Defense Minister and the UP Chief Minister will go a long way in giving a kickstart to the UP Defence Corridor, and once that becomes a reality, generating employment and also achieving the target of $5 billion defence exports from India.
प्रदेश में विकास की अपार संभावनाओं को रक्षा उत्पादन, रक्षा अनुसंधान और विकास के क्षेत्र में भारत की आत्मनिर्भरता में हम भी अपना योगदान दे पाएंगे।
This year, when we started organizing the DefExpo, highlighting its business potential, its investment opportunities that defense sector offers, we set ourselves a big target of 100 MOUs and business deals. That was nearly 250% higher.
We signed MOU today for manufacturing of IMU. Under Make in India, this thing we are going to manufacture in India.
It's a great opportunity to join forces with the local companies here in India. I think Apollo Microsystem is a great partner to bring the technology to India and make it here in India and support the Indian local market and the international market as well from here.
Once these MOUs become reality and the investment comes in, manufacturing plants are in place in the UP Defence Corridor and manufacturing actually starts on ground. It will not only strengthen the security needs of India, but as the Prime Minister said, will go a long way in becoming reality, where India becomes the manufacturing hub and starts exporting and achieving that ambitious target of $5 billion worth exports, moving from the import model of defense products to India becoming an exporting hub. While more than 1,000 companies are participating in the Defence Expo 20 here in Lucknow, but DRDO, the Defence Research Development Organization, is one of the premier research organizations of this country, has put out its products and technologies. More than 500 of them are at display here. I spoke with the chairman of DRDO, and this is what he had to say. DRDO is one of the biggest organizations that's participating here at the DefExpo 2020 here in Lucknow, and it is showcasing various technologies it's developed and the products it's developed in the defense sector. I have with me the chairman of DRDO and the Secretary Defense Research and Development, Dr. G. Satish Reddy. Dr. Reddy, let me first ask you that what is DRDO's mission? You are the biggest organization here at DefExpo. So what is the message that DRDO is sending out of DefExpo 20?
Firstly, the DefExpo 2020 being held at Lucknow, we have put up a large exhibition of various products what we have developed. This is, for us, this is the first ever, this largest exhibition what we are doing in all the DefExpos or air shows. And today, this is largest ever exhibition by a single organization where more than 40 laboratories are participating and more than 500 products have been displayed here what we have developed. Lots of products and technologies we have been developing in the last few decades, and they have all come to a matured state today. And this is the time that you showcase the technologies and show it to the world that you have developed all these technologies, and we are ready for export of these technologies today. You must have seen Honorable Prime Minister yesterday looking for India exporting number of products and number of technologies in the defense sector. So with that aim of reducing the imports in a big way and exporting many products, we have been working and we are working and will be working for it. And we have worked with industries in a big way. Number of industries which have worked with us, who have taken the technologies from here, both public sector and private sector, they also have put up a lot of exhibitions of their products, and they are also looking for lots of marketing, both within the country and definitely from outside the country. This is the first time that number of people from various countries have come. Lots of defense ministers and ministers from various African nations and other countries people have come. They are all visiting and looking for the technologies from India today. So we are now geared up to export many of the products. That's number one. Number two, we are working on various technologies to see that completely indigenously made systems are inducted into armed services, and so that the import content is drastically brought down.
The theme of DefExpo this year, the 11th edition, is India emerging as a destination, a global manufacturing hub for defense equipment and technologies. What role does DRDO envision, and how do you see that happening? What are the positives that India has, or the opportunities that India has, that it could become a manufacturing hub, especially for the defense sector?
DRDO being the only defense research and development organization in the country, you are responsible for developing the technologies which are required for the armed forces, which are state of the art. So we lead the country in developing the state of the art technologies and making the industry work on those technologies what you have developed and realize the products. And it is very important to see that the industries are able to come up and meet the requirement what you have. So it's an all-round development what we have to do. We have to build the ecosystem in the country and see that the overall defense ecosystem in the country and technologies in the country are matured. So we are collaborating with the industry in a big way to make them produce, to make them develop, and we work on the critical technologies in the country. So if I have to become, after 5 years, a state-of-the-art system I have to develop, I have to work on the core research and basic research today. So we work on the basic research, industry works on development and production, and that is the model which we are trying to work. And we are also trying to see that how these products can be in the international market really sellable. To see that the technology is state of the art, to see that the quality is good, and to see that the price of the system is also very competitive in the world. So towards this we are trying to work. And industries are also trying to look for, with various industries, what technologies what are not available in the country, have tie-ups and try to work and make the systems in the country with the help of foreign vendors for which the technologies are not available. You know, as you asked, the strength of India is manpower. We have so much of youth in the country. We need to utilize them. We need to utilize the talent. The youth of the country have tremendous talent. So we need to get them and make the country a manufacturing hub here for the defense technologies, and then we are able to make those items at a low cost, and then we can supply it to the world. So this is the model what we are trying to work. We work on the advanced technologies, make the industries develop the systems. For the current today, what the technologies are not available, you have a tie-up with the foreign industries and try to produce them, and so you make everything in India and make the Make in India a success.
Dr. Reddy, why should a foreign company come and collaborate with you? Why should they work on share technology with you? Why should they work jointly, not just with the DRDO, but in the Indian industry working in the defense sector? What is that we have to offer?
Firstly, they all have understood the strong will of the government that the defense equipment should be made in India. So the Make in India principle they have understood. Whoever is coming and meeting us, first they say we are for Make in India, number one. So they know that if they have to market within the country, Make in India is the only way they can go ahead. So these systems they are trying to make here. The second advantage, as I said, we have so much of manpower in the country, and you can utilize the manpower.
So talent
and
is
second,
what we have.
available. Third, the system what are produced here definitely are lower in the cost compared to a system what is produced elsewhere else. So these are the three advantages why they can come here and participate in the Make in India to produce the systems here. If the system is produced here, they become much more competitive to sell elsewhere in the world also.
The Prime Minister also spoke, Dr. Reddy, about the future warfare, the future battlefield. He said the cyberspace, advanced technologies, critical technologies, and the militaries around the world adapting to it, and India, the Indian forces not being untouched by that. What is DRDO thinking on those lines, be it on artificial intelligence, one, two, in the cyber scope?
These are very important upcoming technologies. Today, the space and cyber have become fourth and fifth dimensions of warfare. So we need to definitely work on those technologies. We should not be lagging to anybody. So DRDO, again, as I said, having the responsibility of carrying out R&D, research and development in the frontier areas, we definitely have to gear up to the situation. We have already started working on these technologies, and we have a lot of manpower working on cyber related aspects, and even the space. You must have heard Honorable Prime Minister yesterday saying that space will be used on no weaponization. It is only you
It's
try
not
to
for
protect
warfare,
your
it's for welfare.
welfare. And so country is working in that direction also. And coming to the artificial intelligence, it is one area where we need to put in a lot of efforts. We have already 2 laboratories working in this area of artificial intelligence, but I definitely feel that we need to do a lot more. This alone may not be sufficient. I feel tomorrow's any weapon, any equipment, whatever it comes, there will not be any equipment without artificial intelligence. So we need to work in that area in a big way. We are gearing up, and we need to gear up in a big way. And if we have to sell our equipment outside, as I said, we need to work on these areas and make the equipment with artificial intelligence.
Have you put out any products or technologies which are critical or cutting edge when it comes to AI in this particular Defense Expo?
Yeah, some of the products which we have made, artificial intelligence based products, some of them have been displayed, not all, and which are very sensitive, we have not put there, but what can be exported, those products we have been displayed here.
Okay, could you name a few products?
Some of the software, war games related, information related, and some of the recognition related, and some of the systems where you automatic target recognition related ways. Some of the robots what we have put here for anti-mine and other applications, they're all artificial intelligence based systems.
Dr. Reddy, my final question to you, where do you see, would you want to see the defense research and defense production sector of India, and what would be the vision for the future?
In the coming 5 to 10 years, firstly, we need to drastically reduce the imports what we are doing. So the defense research should concentrate on that, make all the systems indigenously in thing. Honorable Prime Minister has given a call that we should reduce the imports and we should become a net exporter, and $5 billion we should be able to do export is one call what he has given. We have to respond to it, and we have to gear up to it, make the systems which are really world class and state of the art systems. So in the coming 5 to 10 years, India should become a state of the art technology house, or leading the world in technology, and should have a strong industrial base which is producing a system with quality, accuracy, and producing at a lower price and supplying it to all over the world. So this is what is the aim what we are working towards, making India flourish in a big way with the defense technologies.
So clearly the buzzword is indigenization, as the Prime Minister himself at the inauguration of Defence Expo said that Make in India and India emerging as a hub for manufacturing, where it reverses the import model and goes to the export model. And for that, as Chairman DRDO was saying, that what is required is cutting edge technology, latest research, and creating the right atmosphere for production in India.
Most companies have put up their products and technologies here at display at the Defence Expo 20. We took a stock of some of the products on display, the innovative and cutting-edge technologies and products that companies, both private companies and defence PSUs. Also, we spoke to the representatives of these companies as to what they are trying to achieve here.
Here at the Defence Expo, in one of the pavilions are 2 Indian companies which are actually investing a lot in the UP defence corridor. They are also investing in the manpower in UP. One of them is the MKU, the other is Loya. Now MKU has factories not just in Kanpur but also in Malwa, and has factories and manufacturing units in 4 places in UP. They are also training manpower. They are producing bullet-proof armor, other armored suits for armies across the world. Majority of their profits come from clients abroad, and therefore they are not just making in India, they are making for the world, as Prime Minister Modi had urged.
Beauty of these products is that they are being built in India. The IPR rights belong to MKU, and they are being built under the IDDM category, which is the category
indigenously designed, developed and make category of defence procurement procedures. This is one of the categories which is being accorded the highest priority by the Defence Ministry and the Government of India, because it helps in boosting manufacturing in India, skilled labour in India, and gives jobs in India.
And I would really like to congratulate this government, the leadership of Pradhan Mantri Modi ji and Rajnath Singh ji and our Chief Minister Yogi ji, that they all got together to understand the problems of defense industry, and today we are having such a big convention here, the DefExpo 2020, I think so this is the largest ever, and we have a very good participation from foreign countries.
One of the companies that is investing in the UP corridor, the Loya Group, makes composite materials for high-tech systems such as satellites, rockets, aircraft fuselages. This is a very critical technology, and not just are they contributing by Make in India, by manufacturing in the UP defence corridor, they are also enabling Skill India, because they hire graduates from industrial training institutes all across UP and IIT Kanpur, and then they send them for training in Israel. They fund it and sponsor it fully. So this batch of 100 graduates of engineering from India is trained and their skills enhanced. They imbibe best practices, and that is how they are also contributing to Skill India as well.
I have with me Mr. Venkat Raju, the CEO, VEM Technology. Let's find out what he thinks. Sir, what you're thinking about this exhibition, this DefExpo expectation? Tell me.
We have been participating from last rather 10 years in these exhibitions. These exhibitions help us, networking with various agencies like services, MOD, and foreign OEMs, and our own customers within India. So these exhibitions are essential. Now, the more so in the Make in India, scenario. So Make in India is now shaping up. A lot of systems are getting developed within India. All the services, MOD, the rest of the stakeholders like PSUs and DRDO all supporting this particular cause, and we are all very happy.
What do you think about that private sector is coming more than ever due to this Defense Expo?
Expo is an opportunity. So the private sector coming into the defense manufacturing, building systems is actually a driver of the Make in India. So the services are supporting this cause, MOD is supporting this cause. So therefore, we are able to really understand the systems well, and we have means under Make in India. If at all you develop a product, so there are procedures to actually induct into the services. Earlier this was not there. So therefore, if you want to develop the product, then how do we induct into the services? Now today, if you develop a product, so if you submit a proposal, that means there is an established process to select the suppliers, developing partners, and then taking the product for trials, conducting the trials, providing the facilities, all are there in the current scenario. Like one of our system got cleared under DAC. That means, we will be, rather going through a process of, the selection. Earlier, this was not the case.
And what you'd like to tell us about that Indian manufacturers are, ready to export to other countries, other, who want these sort of technologies. What would you say?
See, thanks to DRDO and the various public sector entities, they have given a lot of opportunity to learn, these systems, defense systems, by working on some of their subsystems. In the case of DRDO, maybe as a development partner, in the PSUs as a production partner, we have gained experience and then build infrastructure to build these products. Now, from last 10 years or over 5 to 10 years, we have been working for various offsets as well. The offset means this is an easy route to export certain subsystems to the OEMs. The foreign OEMs, we are supplying the systems like aircrafts and then missiles. So parallelly, there are certain OEMs, large OEMs, global players, are trying to outsource systems from India. So because this is highly, classified area, restricted business, now we have well-established licensing methodology in India. So therefore, unlike earlier, if you want to export, we can really get a license within 2 weeks sometimes. Within 4 weeks, we get an export license. Yeah, that is a good thing.
Yeah. And my last question, that the size of Defense Expo, you have seen that it's growing year by year, the event by event. How do you see this growth of this Defense Expo?
We strongly believe many of the companies like VEM, they started thinking in terms of systems. So naturally, once you grow the systems, there's a lot of potential to build those systems for the services. So now the Make in India also bringing in a lot of partnerships between the established global OEMs and the Indian manufacturers. So the coming 10 to 15 years, most of the aircrafts or missiles are going to be produced in India.
Thank you so much, sir, for talking to us. So this was the CEO of VEM Technology, and it is clearly, we can say right now, that Make in India has been a growth potential, has been a boosting power to make the defense sector in India more vibrant.
The 5-day Defence Expo 20 in Lucknow has attracted a lot of footfall, while the 5th, 6th and 7th were reserved for companies and government representatives. On the 8th and 9th, it was open to general public, and you can see behind me a lot of footfall, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of interest in what sort of technologies, what sort of products, what sort of tanks, what sort of aircraft the Indian Army uses, what sort of production in terms of defense happens, because defense being a restricted area, the general public hardly gets to interact or see them from close, and fairs like these give an opportunity for the people of India to actually see how their countries, their borders, the territorial integrity is actually secured.
मैंने वो सब देखा जो मैंने पहले कभी नहीं देखा था।
मेरी सेना जो है कितनी आगे बढ़ रही है, कितना विकास के लिए कार्य कर रही है।
साइल देखी, मिशन शक्ति तो वो बहुत बड़ा था, बहुत अच्छा है।
As Defence Expo 20 in Lucknow comes to a close, what the government tried to achieve here through the Defence Expo was to generate interest in the public about the defence equipment and making India a defence manufacturing hub. We'll have to see what sort of total investment finally flows in. But yes, it was a productive Defence Expo where foreign companies participated, Indian private sector participated, and of course the defence PSUs participated. For the general public watching the air shows, live demo of firing by tanks, by the Akash Ganga team, by the Marine Commandos of the Navy was a visual treat. But the basic purpose of the Defence Expo, attracting investments and getting people to invest and co-produce in India to make India a truly manufacturing hub of the defence sector, to the vision that the Prime Minister put out, making India's defence exports reach the target of $5 billion over the next 5 years.